laws, statutes, and commandments. God damn it. We them niggas with no sins on the planet. What that nigga just said? We them niggas with no sins on the planet. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Luke 19 and 27, King James Version. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Oh my God, that big homie talk, Christ should put out a hit. Goddamn, this song sounds like a hit. Dude be saying they dogs, but eating kibbles and bits. These niggas is full of shit, could never be in the whip. You better call reinforcements before I black out. Like Solomon tents in the streets of the dog. My hook's legendary like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Battle, debate, and fight, we don't give a damn who you are. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Hey, yo, slow down for a second, slow down. Hey, yo, Shaw, Brazil, hop out real quick. We gonna get these niggas real quick, huh?
What they talking about?
Just about a month ago, I was in a weird place, talking like they bout it, come around, niggas scared straight. I've been locked in, no distractions for a year straight. This shit heavy duty, keep it coolie, pump your air brakes. One West, I don't hear the rhetoric. One West versus these cats, we ain't sweating shit. Pop it on the internet, you see them, they ain't saying shit. Nigga, who's you playing with? Stepping out the murder van, nothing they seen before. One hand wash the other hand, battle scars I needed though. Living by the law, y'all can keep it cool. I've been organizing, strategizing, they ain't peeping though. This is not a drill, this is not a rental. What I look like, earn my stripes, man, I'm too official. They gon' say they knew me, but they don't know the new me. I'm glorious, notorious, Biggie with the cool G. I wrote this on the loose sleeve, kicking shit like Bruce Lee. Never slipping blade under my pillow like it's loose teeth. This is how a soldier look, doing what I'm supposed to do. If you rockin', then I'm rockin', nigga, that's how soldiers move.
Right, left, right.
South Coast shit, nigga.
Right, left, right.
UPK shoot south.
Soldier move, nigga. Soldier moves, nigga. Shaw. Okay. Man, I hate when the pussy niggas speak to me, cause only one I talk to is beneath the sheets. I'm rude in speech, cavity in my fist might lose your teeth. Who is you to me? Now you can't even damn chew or eat, just fucking drink. But take that way if you don't even think. I'm off the leash. I'm humble but will still unleash. Talk big but shrink when you're around a damn righteous priest. I'm so unique, and all my women thick, petite. I'm gone. I be on my level. Haters want my shine. Nigga, I ain't shit. I think they know I'm lying. But really, I ain't shit. I ain't eating enough crackers. I need a whole buffet, cause I ain't going backwards.
Let me tell you something. It's such a fool's game to think that you have to seek power. You have to seek the Most High, and you'll have all the power. I got more power, bro, than you could imagine, and I've sought none of it. Like I got power. I haven't sought none of it. I just want to work hard in this truth. I want to be the best soldier I could be.
All my soldiers take over. Right. All my soldiers take over.
Yeah, yo, come on. Yo, Kashak, pull off. And don't go backwards. Let's go.
Hey, y'all already know how South Coast doing this shit. South Coast, you know what I mean? We holding it down, brotherhood, South Coast skin, however you want to talk about it, however you want to do it. But one thing for sure, we ain't going backwards. We ain't going backwards.
Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem was what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. It's all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passing. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatics. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up. Now when I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch, I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the ghost. And they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling large, still in charge. I don't make it follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they hear on Mars. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You get focused on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I'm trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna be the dozen. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home yeah. Truth. I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man. Y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth. Y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man. Y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth. Y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
I'm trying to get to the bitches too.
That cold leadership. Cold leader, a nigga sick. I got that faux fever. That COVID shit, got that old Nina. I let it spit, got that brand new 9. Fold you like a futon. Ain't a rapper on my level, told you that a few times. Bet your bottom dollar, save it like a coupon. Old glass with the new wines, break a few minds. Black party with a few dimes, get my shoes shine. Murder shit by a few times, enemies done. How are you a co-survivor when we don't leave none? Shit, put it on tape, watch it like a rerun. I got partners with the grills, want me get my teeth done. Open face shit, cult leader waiting on my spaceship. You don't see us winning, better go and get your LASIX. Basics, infinity garland matching the bracelet. Made me get this snapping like Thanos in the race. The way I walk like a cult leader. How I talk like a cult leader. How I move like a cult leader. Everything off the meter, one West undefeated. How I walk like a cult leader. How I talk like a cult leader. How I move like a cult leader. Everything off the meter, one West undefeated. Come on. Got it all planned, riding for my dogs, man. Cram a couple niggas with blickies up in the small van. Jungle like Tarzan, jewels in the armband. Still drink a cold old English out of tall can. Drinking more liquor in the rental, we got 2 doors. World domination, I'm bald like Lex Luthor. Gotta stay focused, sounding like Doc Umar. Ain't no dashiki, nigga, my squad needs me. Got the lions through the graveyard like Rafiki. But this ain't no Disney, more like a horror movie. 4K, too high quality for some Tubi. Cats wanna watch it, better pay for the premium. I don't rap for free no more, pay the team in them. You really wanna hear me cut the check of the committee? I ain't had to sell my soul, I ain't had to party with Diddy. All I did was grab the killers out every one of these cities. Because I walk like a cult leader. How I talk like a cult leader. How I move like a cult leader.
Officer Kawak says there's no sound. Hey, Officer Kawak, can you give me a 1? If you can hear me, give me a 1. I'm good to go, sir. Yeah, you good. All right, come. All right, so I'm gonna repeat my question. Or you got it?
I would say la.
You good?
Okay. All right. Let me repeat the question. Did the servants actually see what happened between Susanna and the 2 elders before they came running? Because la, right? Okay. So now notice exactly what the scripture is establishing. This guy keep texting. Oh, sloppy, sir.
Phone's on mute and vibrate.
Now he's telling me to start over. All right, hold on. Sloppy, sir. All right. I'm going to start at my question. All right. So I'm going to ask my question again. Did the servants actually see what happened between Susanna and the 2 elders before they came running? You had said no, right? So part 1? Khan. All right. Now notice exactly what the scripture establishes, right? The servants weren't present when the elders approached Susanna. They didn't hear the wicked proposition. They didn't hear the threat. So at this point, these servants have knowledge of a disturbance, but they don't yet know. Salaki, they have yet knowledge of the facts, right? So now hearing something happen is not the same as knowing what happened, right? Give me the precept, Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 14. Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 14. Anybody have it? Got it, sir. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 14. Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought among you.
Right. So now, according to the law, what are we supposed to do when trying to establish whether an accusation is true? Come on with us, Paul.
What the scripture says, as far as I understand it, is to have some kind of proof or a witness, at least 2 or 3 witnesses. Like proof. I mean, like some kind of either physical evidence or a witness to what the accusation is established.
Right.
Not just take someone's word for it.
To inquire, right?
Yes.
Search, right? Yes. To act diligently, right?
Clues.
Right.
Investigation, like the way the police would do.
Exactly.
Yeah. They need evidence for court, otherwise it won't hold up.
Right. Yeah. They're going to ask you diligent questions, you know what I'm saying? You know, so they can get the investigation going. Real quick, I want to start the announcements all over because there was no sound in the beginning of the class. So I'm going to do that right quick, and then we're going to hop right back into where we left off, okay? Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Yohana. And since 1969, we've been bringing out this truth that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children that the Bible speaks of. Right? All right, now we're going to rock and roll. The Most High doesn't teach us to hear something and immediately chooses a side, right? He teaches us to investigate, right? This is what we're supposed to do, right? Okay, the same principle applies among us. You might see one brother angry, another brother calm, right? That doesn't automatically tell you who started or who's right. You know what I'm saying? So righteous judgment requires humility. Humility enough to say, I saw this part, but I don't know what happened, right? A lot of us don't do that. A lot of us go straight to, accusation. You know what I mean? You did it, lying, and don't know the truth, don't have the truth, right? So they do that, right? And so before I got here, that discipline, that's discipline and judgment, right? And now here's where the case gets even more dangerous for Susanna, Okay? Will reputation be accepted as truth, or will the facts actually be investigated? We'll soon see. All right? Give me Susanna chapter 1, verse 27, Boca Shaw. Susanna chapter 1, verse 27.
Chapter 1
And 27, Boca Shaw. You got it? Because we're gonna see, you know what I mean, if actually if it will be investigated. You know what I'm saying? So give it to me.
Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 27. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna.
Right. The people were shocked. You know, they were in disbelief, man. They couldn't believe what they was hearing. You know what I mean? So it's going to get more interesting, right? But my question is, why were the servants greatly ashamed when they heard what the elders were accusing Susanna of? Why were they, greatly ashamed, man? Come on with it.
Because it was unusual, being that Susanna had such a righteous reputation.
There you go.
Especially from her father's teaching since the beginning, and it was not something. It was unlikely or even like unbelievable like that. Like someone would say today, that's impossible. She or he would never do such a thing, because the reputation of the person, of their character, precedes their whatever the accusation is. So they were in shock. They were like, "What? That's not possible."
Yeah, and that's exactly true. You know what I'm saying? Because Susanna established a character, you know what I'm saying, and her reputation did not match the accusation, that was being made against her. They had never heard such a report, you know what I'm saying, concerning Susanna before. Because if you go into verse 27, it says, "But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed." So the elders have now moved from secret lust and attempt adultery to an open false accusation. But immediately the scripture gives us something that should make a righteous judge slow down and investigate. Okay, because something ain't right. So it's like having water in a pot. You know what I mean? You got the fire to it, and it's slowly building. Okay, the accusation does not match Susanna's known reputation. All right, her good reputation alone does not automatically prove the accusation is false, but it gives reason not to rush to judgment. Now, this sister's life is on the line. You know what I mean? So this is why you want to judge righteousness. Okay, an accusation is not evidence, and an accusation is not conviction, right? Because again, in verse 27, there was no such report, right, made of Susanna. Okay, so now we're gonna break that down. We're gonna break that down. So
real quick, just to touch on this, even though it doesn't literally say it in the verse, so we understand that the accusation is adultery, which is the death penalty. That's why it's so serious.
Come. Ayanda, thank you. The water to you. So 27, when the elders had declared their matter, right? The elders are now controlling the narrative. So when they declared their matter, their position could give their Salakia. They declared the matter. Their position could give their words automatic credibility in the eyes of the people. You know what I'm saying? But authority does not make a statement true. Read.
28.
No, 27. Still in 27. Just read it again.
Susanna, chapter 1, verse 27. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed.
Stop right there. So the servants were greatly ashamed, right? Meaning what? Their reaction tells us something important, that they were shocked and ashamed, right? Even hearing such a thing associated with her, right? Investigate carefully rather than assume guilt. Read.
For there was never such a report made of Susanna.
Susanna had an established record of righteous conduct. Nothing like this has previously been reported concerning her, right? So now the contrast the two sides, right? One, Susanna has a good reputation, but is being accused, she's being accused of wickedness, right? And two, the elders have respected positions, but are secretly committing wickedness, right? Reputation and position can influence how people see a case, but righteous judgment must ultimately be established by truth and evidence, correct? Most High Christ. And that's exactly why this case is going to expose the danger of judging by appearance instead of applying God's law correctly. Okay? Give me Susanna chapter 1, verse 28, Brother Kushar.
Susanna 1, verse 28. And it came to pass the next day, when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, the two elders came also full of mischievous imagination against Susanna to put her to death.
To put her to death, man. Now, what does mischievous imagination mean? What does mischievous imagination mean? You got it, sir? What does mischievous imagination? Anybody online can help out. If you have it, bring it out. Greatly appreciate it.
I got the definition, sir, if you want.
You have the definition?
For mischievous.
Okay, come on.
Describe someone or some mischievous, describe someone or something playful, slightly naughty, and fond of causing minor trouble or harmless tricks.
Okay. And imagination? Give me the definition of imagination. Then I want to hear both definitions together.
Imagination is the act or power of forming a mental image of something not present to the senses or never before wholly perceived in reality.
All right, so now together, mischievous imagination. So where it says, and it came to pass the next day when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, right? The two elders came also full of mischievous imagination against Susanna to put her to death. So now what does mischievous imagination imagination mean?
Basically, sir, they made up something in order to just be wicked and be in order to facilitate the accusation so that people would believe it. People would believe what they're saying, what they're accusing her of, based on how they say it. Like sometimes people can, when they accuse, it's not so much the accusation, it's how it's delivered. Like there's a good prosecutor,
right,
in a case, in a trial, and then there's a prosecutor that doesn't have a lot of experience. The one with experience, for example, we all remember the O.J. Simpson trial. When they were trying to get a specific prosecutor for the case, and then O.J. Simpson got that specific group of defense attorneys. That's the father of the what are they called? The Kardashians, and Shapiro and them. The experience and the reputation is usually what people, I don't want to say pay attention to, but what people understand and even believe. You know, the whole point of that was that she is a reputable, a holy, a righteous woman.
Right.
And this is a serious accusation that can lead to her being put to death. So they have to investigate the matter. And these two men are coming with basically these are lies.
There you go.
These are lies that might sound believable to certain people.
Right.
Yeah, so they're taking that into account when they do this. So it's purposeful and it's very wicked.
I take that, man. Give it up for the brother, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Slakia, sir, Kashakwa, you said the word is mischievous. Mischievous. All right. So the definition of mischievous is intending or designed to cause harm, right? Injury or evil. Imagination, a thought, intention or plan formed in the mind. You know what I'm saying? So these men had something wicked, you know what I'm saying, in their mind, you know what I'm saying, towards this sister, right? So they deliberately came together with a plan against Susanna that could result in her death, right? So pay close attention to the phrase, right? In 28, full of mischievous imagination. Slakia, I butchered that word. Against Susanna to put her to death. Their sin has continued to progress. It started with lust. Remember they was watching her, right? Going into the garden, right? The time that she, the hour, the day that she went, it was following her, right? Then premeditation, then attempted adultery and coercion, right? Then false accusation, and now their objective is the unaliving of an innocent woman, right? They have had time to think, and instead of repenting, they are continuing the conspiracy. This is where God's law becomes absolutely necessary. Okay? So it's starting to get hot in there. If these elders are allowed to use their position, credibility, and accusations without the matter being properly examined, an innocent person can be condemned. You see why it's important? That we don't just cast judgment on somebody without investigating, because maybe they're popular, you know what I'm saying? There might be somebody, somebody respected in the hood, you know what I'm saying, can do no wrong. What that reminds you of? Does that remind you of the Christian church? Right? Somebody got raped and I'm Slakia, somebody got raped and they go and report it, and then they bring the child to the church or whatever, to the spot and say, hey, is this true? It can't be true. I'm pastor such and such. Look at me, man. I'm clean. I got a car. I preach the word of God. You know what I mean? How can it be me? You know what I mean? You got liars like that. You know what I'm saying? And lies like that need to be taken down. And not in no physical way. I'm just saying, with righteousness. You know what I'm saying? You have to investigate. Also, you have children that has wild imaginations. You know what I'm saying? They can just make stuff up as well. That's why investigating diligently matters. Okay? So, that's why the righteous judgment and due process are not technicalities. They protect people from corrupt judgment. So let's break down verse 28. Can you read 28 again?
Susanna 1 verse 28. And it came to pass the next day, when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, the two elders came also, full of mischievous imagination, against Susanna to put her to death.
Right? So, and it came to pass the next day. This is important because time has passed. The elders had an opportunity to reconsider what they were doing. It
is pronounced mischievous.
Mischievous.
It's not pronounced mischievous.
Mischievous. The one on one. Okay. They could have repented, right? When they was doing these things, they're judges. They're respected men. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be men that follow the laws, you know what I'm saying, of the Most High, right? They had an opportunity to repent, no? Right? And confess, right? or abandon the false accusation. Instead, they continue forward. Right? Keep reading. When the people were assembled?
When the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, the two elders came also full of mischievous imagination against Susanna to put her to death.
Now, when the people were assembled to her husband Joachim, now the matter is moving forward. Moving from what happened privately in the garden into a public setting. Okay? People are assembled at Joachim's house, and Susanna is about to face accusation before the community. Right? This raises the stakes tremendously because her reputation, marriage, freedom, and ultimately her life are now in jeopardy. Right? The two elders came also full of mischievous. That word is, mischievous imagination against Susanna. So this exposes their premeditation. They didn't simply arrive confused about what happened. The scripture tells us what was already operating in their minds, right? They came against her. Question: can a judge give righteous judgment if he has already decided that he wants harm to come to a person standing before him?
I would say la'ah because he's biased already. So that's not fair judgment.
Right, because the scripture says to put her to death. You know what I mean? So the answer is no, right? They're not merely trying to embarrass her. They intend for their false testimony to cost her life, right? A lie can become a death sentence. You know what I'm saying, my brother? Right? This is why righteous judgment matters. When the judgment is corrupt, the consequences aren't always small. In Susanna's case, the difference between proper judgment and corrupt judgment is literally life and death. Now we've seen what was already in these elders' minds that want Susanna to put to death. Let's see what they do next to turn the wicked intentions into an official accusation. Give me verse 29 of the show.
Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 29. And said before the people, send for Susanna, the daughter of Chelcias, Joachim's wife. And so they sent.
Okay, so now my question, what does the elders calling for Susanna before the people show us about how far their false accusations has progressed? You need me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay, come. Okay, so my question is, what does the elders calling for Susanna before the people shows us about how far their false accusations has progressed? In the back? Ayash?
I mean, from what it seems that they're basically about to put her on the spot.
Okay.
And she's either gonna cave in to the demands or try to find a way to expose them.
Okay. Basically, their private wickedness, right, has now become a public matter, right? They're using their authority to bring Susanna before the people, so their accusation can be formally presented against her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She didn't want to give in, so now they're gonna spread lies about her.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they believe they're gonna win because they're respected elders. I mean, they're judges, right? So, all right, so notice the progression, right? In verse 28, we learned what was inside their mind, right? What was inside their mind was to put her, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 was to put her to death. Okay, So now in verse 29, they begin acting on the intentions. They call Susanna by name, identifying her family and her husband, and have her summoned. You know what I'm saying? Before the people. You got something to say, Goyala?
That's good.
Pass the mic to Goyala, book, Sean.
Mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Honorable Khan, sir. Also, this shows, just to add on, that they really hated that sister. You know what I'm saying? Because they could have, when she didn't give in to them, they could have been like, all right, well, let's just go to our next victim or whatever, try to get her, persuade her, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
They going all the way through with it. Like, all right, you ain't give us no buns.
Right.
Now we want you to get put to death. Like,
Right.
That's some real hatred, sir.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. The water, sir. The water for that. All right. So, like I said, in verse 29, they begin acting on that intention. They call Susanna by name, identified her family, her husband, and have her summoned before the people. That means Susanna is being brought into a situation where the very men accusing her are also men who possess authority and credibility, right? This is where we need to remember something from our foundation, right? Being accused does not make somebody guilty, right?
Right.
Susanna has been summoned, right? But the matter has not yet been proven. A righteous system of judgment must make a distinction between accusation, examination, evidence, right? Testimony, and judgment, right?
Right.
So if you skip the middle and go directly from accusation to judgment, you create an opportunity for innocent people to be condemned.
Right.
Right? Okay. This exposes one of the major lessons of the entire case. While men hold authority, the Most High must still remain greater than the men administering it. Khan? Okay? The law itself is perfect. Even when the people are responsible for administering it are not. The corruption of a judge does not prove corruption in God's law. It proves that the judge has departed from the standard he was supposed to uphold. These men were, held high. You know what I mean? So, precept. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 17. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 17.
Come. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 17. Or argument, I don't want you to have it.
God.
Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
Most High in Christ. This precept establishes the righteous judgment cannot be influenced, you know what I'm saying, by a person's position or status. Susanna must receive righteous judgment according to the same standard as anyone else, right? The great cannot be favored, man. Simply because they are great. And the accused cannot be condemned simply because the accusations come from someone powerful, right? We must never allow someone's rank, title, reputation, or position to replace righteous judgment.
Right.
Okay? The lesson is simple. Authority must always remain under the authority of God's law. Give me Susanna chapter 1, verse 30.
Come. It's the book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 30. Or argument, I don't want you to have it. Come. So she came with her father and mother, her children, and all her kindred.
Right.
Verse 31.
Nope. Stop right there. Give it to me one more time, Salaki.
Come. Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 30.
Come on.
So she came with her mother and father. Salaki. She came with her father and mother, her children, and all her kindred.
Okay. So my question is, what effect can a public accusation have on an innocent person before the truth has ever been established? Go ahead, Ayash.
It can give a false perspective of that person and their character.
That's right.
Like how Christ was misjudged when he didn't even commit a crime.
Right.
And yet his own people spat at him and threw rocks at him as he carried his own cross to his crucifixion.
Damn right. I'm saying so. A false accusation does more than place someone under judgment. Right. It can immediately affect how others see that person. Remember the crowd came and they were ashamed. Mm-hmm. But these men are so great at what they do, you know what I mean, that they gonna pour it on and convince you. You know what I mean? They're gonna convince you, man. So this is why you have to use wise judgment. So give me where we was at? Okay, we still in 30. Okay,
if I may, I got a question, right, about what you just said. Would the precept in this particular situation where it says beware of false teachers among you, or beware of false prophets that are among our people, would that fall in line with what these elders is doing now? Because they don't have the Lord with them at this point, but they're still considered high authority among the people.
I would say la. I would say la. All right, but good try on that. But I would say la. All right, so Susanna's family is now witnessing the consequences of an accusation they have not yet heard proven. Their weeping shows that this situation is no longer affecting Susanna alone, right? The accusation has brought grief upon her entire household. Remember, they not only summoned her, you know what I'm saying, but they told her, get your husband, your parents, your children, everybody. Mm-hmm. They trying to humiliate her. Right? What began secretly in the garden is spreading into Susanna's household, and before the entire assembly. A lie spoken in judgment can damage more than one individual. It can affect an entire household, just like I said, right? Precept. Give me Exodus. You got something to say? Come on, Spawn.
Just had a thought. This whole thing is there's a term for this kind of fervor to get someone killed. It's called a witch hunt. Usually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they want to accuse an innocent person, to appease like the crowd, like they, and it sounds like the judges are trying to stir up like when the mob, when they want the mob to decide. That's what happened. Going back to what Officer Ayash was talking about with Christ, like when they were saying crucify him, they were appealing to the mob instead of real justice.
Facts. Most High Christ.
That's usually that's what this sounds like. We call that in society a witch hunt. Like you don't know if this person is really innocent or not. You just want to condemn them regardless, and that's not righteous.
No evidence, no nothing. Salaki, hey, what's your name, brother?
Jay.
Jay? All right, I just want to welcome you to Water for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it, Jay. All right. So I asked for a precept. Well, I want a precept, right? Exodus. Give me Exodus chapter 20, verse 16. Exodus chapter 20. Come on. Read, please.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 16.
Read.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
You understand? That's why you're not supposed to. But these men are not dealing with righteousness. They're not using the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, that made them who they are. You know what I mean? They choose lust, they choose evil and wickedness, right? But we're gonna soon find out. All right, so this precept goes directly to the heart. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. It's me.
You gotta keep it a consistent distance.
Counter concert.
That's why. You try to reposition it in there.
Counter concert. Let me see how this goes. All right. So this precept goes directly to the heart of what the elders are doing to Susanna. Their false witness is not harmless speech. They are using a lie in a matter of judgment, where Susanna's reputation, family, and ultimately her life can be affected. Right? It can cause an innocent person to suffer consequences that belong to the guilty, right? Give me Susanna 31, 1 verse 31.
Got it, sir.
Read.
Susanna chapter 1, verse 31. Allah can have it. Now, Susanna was a very delicate woman and
beauteous.
Yeah, beauteous to behold.
Now, what does beauteous mean?
If I had to guess her, I would say beautiful, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. The word beauteous.
I got it, sir.
Come on.
It's an adjective. Beauteous is an adjective very attractive to look at or full of beauty.
Right.
It can also be used in literary or poetic context.
Okay, so the scripture says, now Susanna was a very, delicate woman and beauteous to behold. She was a beautiful woman. And like I said last class, that could be a problem. You know what I mean? You got a beautiful wife, and you don't know who's accompanying you in your house or at a party, you know what I mean, or at a gathering, you know what I mean, and that person, has wicked, evil thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Start scheming on your wife, because she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, why would the elders uncover Susanna's face before the assembly?
I just had a question about what that means exactly. Uncover her face. You mean like describe her beauty?
Exactly.
Pointed out.
Exactly.
I can.
Because they're still lusting after her. You know what I'm saying?
Like, well, that's like saying that terrible thing that used to be a long time ago, where people say, well, that happened. The guy did that to her at the party because she had that short skirt on, or she asked for that type of mentality, like.
Right.
Like we couldn't help ourselves because look at her. Like they're trying to always put focus and blame on her as if it's her fault.
Listen, they summoned her. They want to see this woman. Their lust is like through the roof. No matter what, they still want to see this woman. That's how beautiful she is, right? So that's why I asked you, why would the elders uncover Susanna's face before the assembly, right? The uncovering of Susanna's face was deliberate. The elders were not satisfied with falsely accusing her. They wanted to expose and humiliate her publicly while using her beauty to strengthen the appearance of these accusations, right? While privately, they know that their own uncontrolled lust is what produced this whole entire situation. Give me verse 35. 35, yeah. No, Salakia. Not 35, Salakia. 32.
Susanna 1, verse 32. And these wicked men, will Akim have it? And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she was covered, that they might be filled with her beauty.
So what does this reveal about the elders even while Susanna is standing before the assembly under accusation? Come on with it, Ayash.
Well, man, they are wicked and perverted bastards. Because even in the face of all the people, they still trying to find a way to uncover her beauty so they could bask in it and try to expose her for somebody she's not, and still fulfill their perverted lust. All in one shot.
Right.
It's cunning like a wolf, like the scriptures would say, though.
It is. And in front of everybody. What you said, sir?
I was saying wolf in sheep clothing.
There you go, wolf in sheep's clothing. Yep. So their lust has not disappeared, even while pretending to administer judgment, right? The same wicked desire that started this entire situation is still operating in them. Notice the hypocrisy, right? These men are presenting Susanna as the guilty person, yet Scripture identifies them as wicked men.
Right.
Right? They command that her face be uncovered so they can look upon her beauty. Right? They've lust, right? Salakia. They very lust, Salakia. They lust so that they can look upon her beauty. They refuse to control in the garden, Salakia. Refuse to control in the garden is still influencing their behavior while they stand before the people as respected elders. Okay, because she rejected them in the garden, right? So a title or position cannot make a wicked action righteous. These men look like judges before the people, but the Most High knows what's operating in their hearts. Give me, verse 33.
Come. This book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 33. Therefore her friends and all that saw her wept.
What does wept mean? Because you said
it means the cry or shed tears because of sadness, pain, or strong emotion.
Right. Deep sorrow. Right.
So basically, when she uncovered herself, they wept because she was being brought forth to be judged.
Right.
And nobody even knows what's going on yet.
Right. So now we see the emotional effect spreading even further. Right. First, her household was affected. Now her friends and those witnessing the situation are weeping. Right. The consequences of the elders' wickedness continue spreading beyond Susanna herself. Right. Give me verse 34.
Come. Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 34. Then the two elders stood up in the midst of the people and laid their hand upon her head.
So now, what makes this moment especially dangerous? What makes this moment especially dangerous?
If I may.
They singling her out.
Give him the mic.
You gotta raise your hand. Answer the question.
They singling her out.
Speak a little louder.
They singling her out and making a spectacle of her.
Okay. All right. The men who are secretly guilty, right, are now publicly presenting themselves as witnesses against the innocent. Okay. We're gonna go to. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right. So now what they're doing. Look at you got something to say, Ayash?
If I may. Not only are they calling her out or singling her out among the people, but this is their opportunity. Now they put their filthy, perverted hands on her at the same time. But the people don't know what they're doing undercover, but behind the scenes, they're getting everything that they want. They're basking in her beauty.
Right.
They're getting to touch her now, even though she belongs to a man.
Right.
And they make it now they find real crafty ways right now to get their perverted lust fulfilled. And the people don't even see what's really going on,
right?
Or comprehend what's really happening behind the scenes.
Okay. So Paul 1, the water for that, Yash.
I was going to ask about that. Like, it seems like now that's like almost an excuse just to touch her because they couldn't before when they were in the garden because she refused them. But is this, when they're doing this, is this like a declaration of like they're condemning, like this is like a condemnation, or is it just so they can put their hands on it, so to speak?
Well, like I said, man, the reversal, you know what I'm saying, is taking place, right? The guilty are standing as accusers, right? While the innocent is standing, as though she was guilty, right? So because the people don't know yet what actually happened in the garden, the elders' testimony is about to carry tremendous weight. But this is why God's law requires righteous investigation. Appearance can be reversed, right? The people standing accused can be innocent, and the person making the accusation can actually be guilty. Now watch the contrast, right? While these elders stand before the people presenting themselves as witnesses, Susanna knows there is no witness who knows exactly what happened. So now Ask your question again. Say that again.
No, this the literal the act of them putting their hands on her head, is that like in a movie where they show, like I said, which ones, like they point to, to the accused before they put them on the bonfire, or in court, the prosecutor will say, can you point out the person, and the witness will point literally to the person and identify them. Is that why they did that? Like to say this is the guilty person? Like the act of putting
Can you help me out with that?
The act of them, literally, the act of them putting their hands on her head, what does that signify?
The acts of the elders putting their hand on whose head? On Susanna's head?
Yes.
Read the verse.
Then the two elders stood, verse
Call the verse
34.
out.
Susanna 1, verse 34.
Good.
Then the two elders stood up in the midst of the people and laid their hands upon her head.
Read 35. You don't mind to come?
No, I don't mind.
Read 35.
35. And she, weeping, looked up toward heaven, for her heart trusted in the Lord.
I would say there's no real underlying tone there to them laying their hands on their head, other than trying to seem like, so you know how you're talking to somebody and you care for them deeply, you might put your hand on their shoulder while you're talking. Or if you're giving somebody some game, like because I would talk to me sometimes. When I first came speaking, he put his hand on my shoulder and say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And then he tied my boot for me. Right? It's like an act of perfection, meaning like we're rendering this simply because we have to. But you understand? Oh, Susanna, I wish you did it. You understand?
The water, hold on. All right, so 35, and she's weeping, right? She's weeping. Looked up toward heaven, for her heart trusted in the Lord, right? So, where does Susanna turn when the people around her are being persuaded by a false accusation? Ayash?
In this situation, she looked up to the heavens and looked to the Lord. Because at this point, only the Lord knows exactly everything that's really going on.
Right. Damn right.
Even though she got mother, father, sister, brother, kids, kindred, even her husband.
Right.
She looks to the Lord because they're about to fool everybody else in that in that environment. But you can't fool the Lord. So she looked to her father.
Let's see real quick. That's your mic. And also, if you ever seen, like, so I give you all an anecdotal experience. But if you ever seen any movie or TV show, and the villain approaches the main character after like a convoluted plot, and he think he came out on top, what does he do? He puts his hand on his shoulder. Yeah. He'll say, you almost got it. You almost had it. And he touching his shoulder, touching his head. It's the same thing, which is why she would look up to the heavens, because it's like, you're cooked. And only person that can help her is the Lord.
Come, Most High Christ, the water, right? Susanna looks toward heaven because she understands that although men may believe the lie being spoken against her, the Most High knows exactly what happened in the garden. The elders are looking toward the people, trying to convince them of a lie. Susanna is looking toward heaven, trusting the one who already knows the truth. Give me verse 36.
Hey guys.
Come.
Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 36.
Read.
And the elders said, as we walked in the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away.
Right? Now, this is true, right? This is true. Now, give me 1 second. Okay, so now look at the reversal taking place. The guilty are standing as accusers, while the innocent is standing as though they were guilty. Give me 1 second, Salakia. Okay, so now, however, the danger here is not simply that the elders are lying. They are taking pieces of truth and arranging them in a way designed to support a lie, right? Give me 37.
Susanna 1 verse 37. Then a young man who there was hid came unto her and lay with her.
They claim that a young man who was hiding in the garden came to Susanna and laid with her. You believe that? That's foul, right? Right? Okay, so the phrase lay with her means they are accusing Susanna of committing adultery. Okay? Having sexual relations with a man who was not her husband. But there was a major problem. These elders know there was no young man. Okay? They themselves were the men hiding in the garden. So this is not mistaken testimony or something they misunderstood. They deliberately created a person who did not exist in order to make Susanna appear guilty. Right? The key word is testimony. Right? A statement given as evidence about a person's claims to have seen, heard, or know concerning a matter. Their testimony sounds detailed, but details do not automatically make testimony truthful. Right? Give me 38.
Susanna 1 verse 38.
Read.
Then we that stood in a corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran unto them.
Ran unto them. They are claiming we were standing off to the side in the garden. We witnessed Susanna committing adultery with this young man. And when we saw what they were doing, we ran toward them to catch them. But we know that that's completely backwards, right? They weren't witnessing Susanna's wickedness. The elders themselves were committing the wickedness, right? So verse 38 shows how they were reversing the roles. Right? The elders are now presenting themselves as eyewitnesses. The elders were not righteous men who discovered wickedness. They were the wicked men hiding in the garden. Correct? Okay. They are deliberately changing their role in the story. Instead of admitting that they hid themselves so they could approach Susanna, they make it appear that their presence in the garden allowed them to witness and stop adultery. Right? Give me 39.
Susanna 1 verse 39. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we.
Right.
And opened the door and leaped out.
Okay. So now, if they supposedly caught Susanna with a young man, where is the young man? Right? Where is he? Okay. The elders now have to explain why there's no young man standing before the people with Susanna, right? Okay. The young man exists only in their story. Right. Right. What's that word?
In their imagination.
Okay, brother.
That reminds me of when they bought the.
Give him the mic, focus on.
That reminds me of when they brought the woman to Christ. And he said, "Go and sin no more," because they ain't bring no man; they just brought her.
Facts. The water for that. Gone. Right. So, the elders claim that after capturing Susanna, they questioned her about the identity of the supposed young man, but she refused to tell them. Then they concluded by saying these things were duly testified, right? So now they're going even further. They like, the hell with it. They're formally presenting themselves as witnesses against Susanna. They're also using Susanna's supposed refusal to identify the man to make her appear even more suspicious. Their story is designed so that every missing piece of evidence is blamed on Susanna herself. Okay? There is no young man to question. They say he escaped. There is no identity for the young man. They say Susanna refused to reveal it. So their testimony has been constructed in a way that attempts to explain away the absence of evidence that could expose their lie. Come on with it, Ayash.
If I may. If they said they hid in the background of the garden and witnessed an adulterer. And then they approached to catch them in the act. They had to get some description of the alleged assailant.
Man. You know that.
But they trying to construct it to where nobody's gonna ask them any questions. They just gonna believe what they're saying and run with it and just say, "Oh, Susanna did this, Susanna did that."
Right.
Like, are they even going to give her an opportunity to defend herself?
Right.
Or speak on her own behalf? Or are they just going to run with the lie?
That's heavy you say that because it gets deeper. It gets good. It's getting good. Lord allow we can get to the end. Let's see. All right. So question, right? Why should a judge be careful when the only explanation for missing evidence comes from the same people making the accusation? Come on with it, Ayash.
They gotta be airtight with their law, because any hole, any crack in the chink in the armor, and their whole story falls apart, and they get exposed for who they really are, and it fully exonerates Susanna.
Because the accusation must be examined, right?
Right.
Not simply accepted. The people making the accusation should not automatically be allowed to fill every gap in their own story, right? Without their testimony being tested, right? Give me Deuteronomy 19 verse 15.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 15.
Read.
One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, in any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of two witnesses, or the mouth of three witnesses, shall the matter be established.
Right. So the elders have two witnesses, right, which may appear to satisfy the numerical requirement of the law, but having two witnesses does not automatically mean those witnesses are truthful. That distinction is going to become extremely important as this case continues, right? Slakia. In verse 41 says, the people now have to decide what they are going to do with the testimony of these two respected elders, right? Now, read 41.
We skip at 40, sir?
Give me 1 second.
39 was the last verse.
You know what? My bad. Give me 40, and then we go right into 41.
The book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 40. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. Verse 41.
Right.
Then the assembly believed. Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and judges of the people, so they condemned her to death.
Right. So what mistake did the assembly make when they heard the testimony of the two elders?
By just going off of what the elders said instead of further examining the evidence or the story that they provided in the first place. They didn't even corroborate Susanna's side. They just asked her about a description of a man that doesn't exist. Instead of asking for her accounts of what really happened.
They allowed the position and reputation of the witnesses to influence the judgment, right? Instead of thoroughly examining whether their testimony was true, right? Precept. Give me Leviticus chapter 19, verse 15. Go out, sir. The water. Appreciate you.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 15.
Read.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
Right.
Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 15.
One more time.
You got it, sir? I'm good to go? Okay. I don't want to say I'm good to go. All right. So now, God requires judgment to be righteous regardless of who is standing before the court or who is making an accusation. The authority of these elders should never have been greater than the standard of the Most High's law, right? Now, give me Deuteronomy 19 and 18. The water go, y'all.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 18.
Read.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition.
Stop right there. Right? Now, if we remember, what does diligent mean?
Thorough and precise.
And what does inquisition mean?
Inquiry, meaning investigate, inquire, seek for information.
So now read the verse again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 18.
Right.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition.
The judges. These two men are judges, Israel. Okay? They're judges.
God.
Okay? So, diligent inquisition means a careful and thorough investigation of the matter, right? This is crucial to Susanna's case. Two witnesses have spoken, but their testimony still needs to be examined. And that's exactly what we're eventually going to see. Ayash?
It's something that hasn't even been said in this chapter so far. Where's her husband in all this?
Right?
Because apparently he has to have something to say about this. He should know the wife that he chose to lay with and marry.
You know what her husband's doing? He's just sitting back, just listening.
God.
Hey, come on, sir.
A husband should not just assume, just because you marry a woman, you can't assume she would never do this or she would do this. And the judge still holds authority of, like the cunt said, making diligent inquisition. You can't say, I know the woman I married, she'd never do that.
Right.
Not in that aspect. I'm saying because, like it says in the scripture, diligent inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
They just going off of what the elders are saying because of their influence.
The husband would have no input on this because he wasn't there. She could have did it all and then went back and kissed him on the mouth.
Right.
And he would say she would never do that. She wasn't a part of the situation. It's a lot.
Yeah, no sweat, sir. All right. So this is crucial to Susanna's case. Right. Two witnesses have spoken, but their testimony still needs to be examined. Okay. And that exactly what we're eventually going to see when Daniel, remember I said Daniel, enters this case. The testimony that everyone else accepted is going to be tested, right? And this is where the law begins to expose the difference between accepting an accusation and proving an accusation. The elders had authority. They had two witnesses, right? And they had already convinced the people, but none of those things automatically made their testimony true. The law required diligent investigation, okay? Because witnesses can lie, people in authority can be corrupted, and an innocent person can be condemned when judges fail to examine the matter properly. You got a question?
I got a comment. I don't know if it's going to throw you off. I'm going to say
No.
Comment on the scripture you had on the second part.
What scripture is that, sir? I don't know.
19 and 18.
Concern.
Where it says, on the second part, where it says, behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother. Verse 19 says, he shall do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother, so shalt thou put the evil away from among you. All the ball players that go to jail for false rape cases, and brothers recently have been saying something got to happen to her. This is getting ridiculous. It's been going on for X amount of time.
Right.
That woman, scripturally, biblically, is supposed to receive whatever judgment she thought the judge was going to give that brother.
That's a
So
fact.
he lost his career.
Yeah,
he
that's
lost
a
his
fact.
future. He got to go be a plumber now when he was going to be a $40 million running back.
That's a fact.
She got to go through the jail time she thought he was going to get the felony on her record, and she should never be able to get that career that she wanted. So that's righteousness. So.
Damn right. Give it up. That's right. Go ahead in the back. I'm sorry, brother. What's your name again? Jay? Yeah. Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
So as we read in the story, I see a lot of parallels with Christ too. When he brought him before the judges, no witnesses, no nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Judges.
Listen, what you saying is so heavy because it's like every day. You know what I mean? Every day, man. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with, the court system. You know what I mean? Dealing with the police. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with family members. Like this relates to a lot. You know what I'm saying? But how we deal with it matters. Feel me? So like I was saying, this is crucial to Susanna's case, right? So 2 witnesses have spoken, but their testimony still has to be examined. And that's exactly what we're eventually going to see when Daniel enters this case. The testimony that everyone else accepted is going to be tested. And this is where the law begins to expose the difference between accepting the accusation and proving the accusation. The elders had authority, right? They had 2 witnesses. And they had already convinced the people, but none of those things automatically made their testimony true. The law requires diligent investigation because witnesses can lie, people in authority can be corrupted, and an innocent person can be condemned when judges fail to examine the matter properly, right? And then I asked for Deuteronomy 19:18, right? And Adawan broke that down. Now I asked you to read. Oh, come on, Kashaku Salakia.
Salakia, if I may, real quick. Just to go off what Oscar Waldmore put out there. This shows that the white man is the devil and that they have an unjust system between. Just reading the scriptures, you see justice and getting to the matter, finding out. Okay, like what you're doing right now, you're showing the case, right, and in our oppressor's kingdom, you're guilty before proven innocent.
That's right. That's right.
You're guilty at first.
That's right.
So it goes to show that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because before you even go in the courtroom, before they see your face, before they know what you look like, they know what you are on paper.
Right.
And the paper tells a prosecutor and anybody who's been in prison before, no, they don't know nothing about you.
That's a fact.
Before you walk in the court, you're guilty.
That's a fact.
They just hate you, and you're a menace to society, and this, that, and the third. And then even if they get to know you and you try and prove yourself in this kingdom, you're still guilty just because you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian.
Most High in Christ. Goyala? Oh, Adawan, real quick. I got you after that.
Let him go because this is a question.
Okay. Come on.
Salakia, sir. This was Kashaka was saying, the white man is the devil. And
Right.
You have to pay to go to jail now.
Right. Damn.
Well, for a minute.
Right. Damn.
Like it's I think it's what, $50? $100? So if you go to jail and say if you go to jail in North, that's the county correctional facility. When you get in there, they're taking the first $50 that hit your account. Like say if your family put money on your books, $50, that is getting wiped out immediately.
I didn't
the
even
first
know
50.
that.
So you gotta pay to go to jail like Monopoly.
Good.
Oh God.
So like real quick, what boy y'all is saying is very true. And this that's been implemented, I want to say at least for the past 10, 15 years. You have to pay when you go to jail. And as soon as if anybody ever see you money, is give me mine.
Off the top.
Give me mine and listen, and they take it. And right now, they was trying to make it more than the number it is now. Like you're paying to be in jail. So it goes to show, because in the prison system, they get a set amount of money for each prisoner. And then if you go into a drug program, they give you even more money. This is just the system. It's sad and it's sick that the white man is really the devil, because now not only are they going to get paid from the government and all this other money, they're going to get paid to house you, paid to feed you, paid to put you on a program. Now you have to pay for just being in jail.
Does that remind you of like taxes?
It's worse than taxes.
You feel me? they
It's
man.
true
Like,
slavery. And sloppy. And you gotta work. And you gotta work in their system. Do whatever they tell you to do. You get paid $1. I think the lowest pay is like $1.30 a day when you're in prison. It's $1.30. And then if you happen to get somewhere or get any type of privilege of any type of privilege in the prison, I think the max pay is like $3 or $5 if you are on outside detail. And that's your pay per day.
That is
insane. And the insane part about it is they tax that dollar.
Listen, brothers, stay out of jail. Stay out of prison, man. You know what I'm saying? Come into the schools, man. The ISUPK. You know You understand? You know what I mean? Forget all that nonsense, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we can use that money here. You know what I mean? Commander Giuliani could use that money. Okay? All right, so, yeah, come on, sir.
So, Elijah Yahweh says, Slakia, sir, if I may, the people did Ecclesiasticus 11:7, instead of just going with what the two judges said, it would have went differently as well. Do you want to pull that?
Ecclesiasticus?
Ecclesiasticus 11:7.
So you say Ecclesiasticus?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 7. Allah, you got it?
God.
11. I'll get there, sir. Okay, Khan. 11 verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 7.
Right.
Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
That's right.
Understand first, and then repeat.
Right. Most High Christ. That's it. That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shalom. Have a good night. Word. The water for that. What's the brother name, sir? Tell him I said shalom. That's Most High Christ. God, Most High Christ. So part one.
God, sir, if I may, it reminds me every now and then, either on YouTube, on the news, or on Instagram, they'll show a case of a brother, and he's like in his 50s, 60s, sometimes even in his 70s, where he was falsely accused when he was young of a crime. And they took the testimony of whatever white woman or whoever was the witness or the cop's testimony, and he was innocent the entire time. There was never any DNA evidence, and now there is, and that's actually what got him out. That's still that happens on a regular basis, where a lot of brothers were, falsely accused and were convicted for some sort of reason, or they didn't want, they pleaded, to a lesser time.
That's a
but
fact
they still
too.
did they had their whole life taken from them for something they didn't even do. I think I don't remember if we discussed this last week or not. The Central Park 5. Those brothers,
We did. Yep.
The case because I'm old enough. I remember when that aired on TV. I still remember Donald Trump saying they should hang those guys, that kind of thing. Back then, where they were completely innocent, of the essaying of a woman who was jogging in Central Park at the time, because they blamed there was a thing that groups of teenagers were doing. Back then they called it wilding. They would just go and like try to rob people or throw stuff at people's cars, in the park at night. Central Park was not safe to be at night in the 80s. But these brothers, these young guys, some of them were still in high school, and a couple of them were like college age. But I was about the same age when this happened. I think it was 89, I believe, 1989. And they were accused, and then we were interrogated for like hours and hours and hours. And coerced or forced. They say coerced, but it's really forced into a false confession.
They were scared, man.
And I think all 5 of them, they got them to corroborate a story where they were there. Not even that they did anything to the woman, but that was all the prosecution needed to convict them. And the whole time it was one guy who was already locked up for something else. He eventually confessed, but after they did years of time already. I don't know how long exactly. I know there's a documentary about him. And they sometimes they'll speak. There's always one brother out of the 5 that doesn't want to do any interviews. They don't want to speak out of there's usually four the same 4 guys. Even today, like when they sit down and talk about it, and they talk about what they had to deal with, how the cops, everything they went through. They had their lives taken from them. Every once in a while, that'll pop up. It'll be a Hispanic brother. It'll be a native brother, a guy in a reservation that was falsely accused of something. And the system was like, well, he admitted to it. So that's why and this was like decades and decades of their lives taken. Because of like Officer Sakor said about the justice of the system.
That's right. Most High in Christ, Carl. Come on, sir.
Yes, sir. One of them killed themselves. Really?
Two comments on what he said. I have a question. Is the man who admitted he did it, was he white?
Which
The man that admitted he was the one that raped that woman.
I don't remember if he is. I don't know if he is. The actual person that did because the whole thing was that she was hit with a brick and almost killed, and then assaulted. So she was in a coma for like months.
Was he white?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Let them tell it. They said it was a black man, but
he went to jail though. You said the guy admitted it and he finally went to jail.
the person that did it, I believe he went to jail. I'm not sure because they found the DNA or something.
He was already in jail for something else.
But he was in jail for a different crime, and they did. You know
But we don't know his race.
Lie, sir.
Okay.
I can find out for you right now, though.
No, that's not. The comment I wanted to make, right? So in relation to exactly what he's talking about. Y'all remember that man that Captain Nazar debated Andrew Wilson? Remember that, Jay?
No.
It's a man, Andrew Wilson. He's a white guy. He's a debater. He debates a lot on similar stuff like the Flushing Fit podcast about women and all that stuff like that. Women, who's a whore, who's not a whore, what it means to be a whore, all that stuff like that. He debated Captain Nazar. That same man, he also debated Candace Owens recently about the Charlie Kirk thing. And even the brothers in the school were saying Candace Owens destroyed him. But of course, everybody that supports him was saying he won, right? The reason why I'm bringing him up is because in relation to the case you just said, he has a clip going viral on the internet right now that said, it's an old interview when he said, if a woman gets SA'd and she likes it, is it really SA? And this is the type of person that is in charge of her. This is the type of person that you got to sit in front of before you go to jail. So before you go to jail, you got to sit in front of a white man that said, if a woman like what I did to her, it doesn't matter that it's SA. It shouldn't matter. And he's laughing during the whole interaction. And the other guy that he's sitting there debating with is like, I refuse that. He was like, is it? And he's sitting there like, I'm not answering that, bro. You can't be serious. He was like, no, I'm dead serious. Is it? And brother, that's who you got to sit in front of before you go pay to go to jail. You got to sit in front of him. You got to sit in front of Andrew Wilson, who behind the scenes, like you're saying, he's laughing at it. You understand? He's laughing at these things. That's what the brother was accused of.
Son of Christ. Ayash, the what, sir?
Yeah.
He was Hispanic.
Yeah, it's negligible. It was going to strengthen my point.
And it was 89.
Yeah, it was going to strengthen my point. That's all.
Son of Christ. Good, Ayash.
If I may, this is no different from Emmett Till.
Come on.
Emmett Till was accused of whistling, not even being within 20 feet of a white woman. And he got hung from a tree.
Yeah.
What was he, like 8, 9 years old? Got accused of whistling at a white woman. And
I don't want to say around 13 years old.
Yeah, he was barely a preteen. He was a prepubescent. You understand? And got accused for whistling at a white woman. And she waited till after he got hung years later to finally open up and admit, oh, I lied. I apologize.
Right.
Apologies ain't going to bring the life of that young boy back.
It's not, man.
He's not going to bring closure to his mother.
Just recently she admitted. Just recently.
I heard about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, all these years later.
What she did? She waited till her deathbed to say he didn't do it. I'm talking about she old, 90 years old.
Damn.
She about to take her last breath. She know the Lord coming for her.
That's the only time white people will acquit you.
Right.
Because now I'm dying and it don't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm already in jail. I'll take fine. I did. You understand?
Come on, sir.
Sir, is that something like when a mass shooter, right, shoots up everybody, and then before the police grab him, he shoots himself?
It's the same thing.
Right?
It's the same thing. They already knew he did it.
Right.
You understand? They already know he did it, and it's like, well, I'm gonna just take myself out.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? A white man can't sit in the jail cell like you can. Even when you ain't do it. I know you said the brother unalived himself, but look at the rates of who unalives themselves in prison and in the real world. White men have a far higher SI rate, I guess we'll call it, SC, unaliving themselves rate than black men, despite the fact that we are the victims of false accusations. At an alarming rate, they'll take themselves out.
Right.
And you'll just sit there in jail like, I can't believe this damn devil.
Right.
Sir, they should have locked her up. One night at 90 years old, her dad locked her ass up.
Salaki, if I may, right? No, what Goyal is saying is because what Goyal is saying is heavy and it is exactly true. Because these so-called Jewish men, right, and the people that put them through these concentration camps and did all the things at 90 years old, they still taking them to trial and sending them to prison at 90 and 98. It was one German that they took him. He was like 98 years old, and he's in a courthouse. I'm talking about on a respirator, and they said we sentenced you to 100. They sentenced him to like 220 years, and he was 90, like 98 on a respirator. So if that's crime, why didn't they send that woman to prison for that time?
If I may, if possible, give me any brother that's serving time that's 90 years old right now. Can you look him up on Google?
Oh, Con, I know a brother that's 90 right now. They're 89, about 89 in prison, and been locked up since before I was born.
Okay.
Con, real quick, if I may, before I go, just sliding my eyes on Essential Pack 5, right? The oldest brother that was locked up with them, he was 17 turning 18. And he got 13 years. That man got raped in prison. And I mean they did things to him because in prison system, you come in for those type of charges, things happen. But he was the oldest one, and he went to actual prison, and they did things to him. He did 13 years, and they was torturing him during those 13 years. The next one he did 6 years and 8 months. Another one did 6 years. Another one did 5.5 and 5.
Man that was molested in prison. Did he unalive himself in prison or did he get out?
Let me see. The oldest of the group, his name was Corey Wise. He was tried as an adult and spent his entire sentence in adult facilities. He came home. But one of them,
he got falsely accused, raped for 13 years, and didn't unalive himself.
And he came home.
With a white man.
And he came home, and they gave him money for the time, and then he unalived himself. I think that's the one that unalived. I have to do the homework, but if I'm not mistaken, because one of them did unalive himself, I believe it's the one Corey Wise.
I would like to probably get back on topic, but I would like to know which one of them did.
Right, come on, sir.
The white man unalived himself, despite the fact this is his earth right now. He on top.
Right.
He have a little bit of a hardship. He take himself out.
Damn right.
For 13 years, something you didn't do. Get raped the whole time you in there, and you come home. Now, I don't even care if the brother did do it after all that damn time, because after 13 years of getting molested, brother, a white man will say, "I'm in the wrong body. I'm supposed to be a woman."
Right.
Kill everybody in the school, and then do himself.
Right.
You understand? You go to jail for 13 years. You didn't do it. Then after that, you come out. You try to live a regular life. I don't care if that brother didn't unalive himself. That brother's stronger than any white man.
Damn right. Son of Christ. Damn right.
Salakia, sir. It was real. Tragedy, died by suicide in 2015 after release.
So he did not allow himself.
No, it wasn't the Central Park 5. It was the other brother that was right.
That brother, but the Central Park 5 guy who was molested for 13 years did
not.
Right. That's the one that don't want to talk to.
White man with an identity crisis.
Right. That's the one that doesn't want to talk to nobody. The one that everybody talk about. The one that was.
Because he's scarred for life.
Right. He's scarred. He's mentally scarred.
White man with an identity crisis.
Right.
We gotta feel sorry for him.
Right.
We gotta ban guns for him.
Right.
He put one to his head.
Right.
If I may, real quick, just to touch on.
Okay, go ahead.
Just one quick statement.
You got it. Come on, go ahead.
It's kind of a hot topic right now. It's a little off topic, but it's kind of like what we on slightly. The cop that killed Sonia Macy has passed away in prison.
Right. I heard.
Yeah. The sister got was boiling water.
Right.
She was saying, "Jesus, please!" Like, yeah, those are Christ, man. Like, I just wanted to make that known. So that's a hot topic brothers can speak and celebrate about.
Most High in Christ. You know what? Kum Yasha. Come on,
sir. Yeah, we were talking about that on Monday because I believe that's going to happen. He had the cop had colon cancer for a while.
Right.
So he died in custody.
God.
He didn't die at home around his family, celebrated or nothing. He died,
That's right.
Suffering.
That's
right. What the officer was talking about, we're stronger than anybody. We're like mentally, physically, like our spirit. That's why they unalive themselves so quickly and they can't hack it. Right. There was I believe this was either Monday or Sunday, or it might have even been yesterday. There was a man who, a white family. He killed 8 of his own family members. He killed four adults and 4 small children.
Right.
And then himself before the cops came, and he set the place on fire.
Right.
And he burned down the whole before the police. Now the EMTs and the firefighters couldn't go in.
Right.
To try and rescue any wounded because the guy was still an active shooter.
Right.
Before he did that. So it just goes exactly to what I'm was talking about.
Right.
About they don't have that.
I like
it.
Just if I may.
I think it was just a couple days ago. Yeah.
If I may, you said something that was heavy, and you said that we're stronger.
Yes, that's the point.
Right?
Yeah,
we're stronger.
That brother went through all that turmoil, even though he was innocent. He endured the attacks in prison because they probably thought he was an assayer when he wasn't, and they have that stigma. That's why they separate someone who did anything to a child. They'll put them in solitary because they know the brothers are gonna do something or maybe just strangle the guy usually, and they make it look like.
And you know what you're saying is so heavy because. When you read verse 42, right, it says, then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, "Oh, everlasting God, that knowest the secrets and knowest all things before they be." You understand? Susanna has now been condemned by the people based on the testimony of 2 elders. But notice, 1, 2, 1, 2. But notice, where she turns when the judgment of men has failed her. She cries unto who? The Most High. You understand? Oh, okay, give me the comment. Oh, sure.
Elijah Yahweh, this is Salaki, if I may, sir, is heavy what is being brought out because they did the same thing on the movie Rosewood with the white woman going behind her man's back and got caught but blamed it on the white man. This is to your point with Susanna. Then he followed it up by saying he raped her and the white man came through and unalived a whole lot of us. The white man is definitely the devil, the Bible speaks.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. The water. Come on, some Paul one.
Real quick.
Come on, don't sweat.
You remember the case of Susan Smith? That name sounds familiar?
It don't.
She drowned her 3 kids. She stood there and watched them go down.
This is recent?
No, this was like about 93 or 94. This was about 30 years almost.
Oh, okay.
She was really young.
Okay.
The whole time she went on she got interviewed in her home with her husband. And her husband is crying his eyes out, in front of the press, and she's lying what they call crocodile tears, because the whole time she drowned, but she blamed it on 2 black men taking the car with the kids in it. That's the point I wanted to bring up. Well, the whole time all those days that they interviewed her, please bring our kids back, we just want them safe. The whole time she actually watched them drown a little slow. They were crying. Wow. This is according to what she said.
Right.
And she confessed, and I believe they convicted her, and she's still alive.
Right.
So they even though a brother didn't get accused and put in prison, that's the story they went with, and a lot of people in the town, including you see it in the interview, the black people that were in that neighborhood believe is the point.
See,
because
she's a devil.
So now, right? She understands. Susanna understands that although these men have lied about what happened, God knows what actually happened, right? The elders may have deceived the people, but they cannot deceive the Most High. This is why Susanna calls him the God who knoweth the secrets, right? The truth of this case may be hidden from everyone else, but it is not hidden from God. The point You know, man can judge based only on what he hears and sees. The Most High already knows the truth. And that becomes extremely important here because Susanna has reached the point where human judgment has failed her, right? Now we are about to see intervention enter the case. My question, why is Susanna able to call on the Most High with confidence, even after everybody else has believed the accusation against her?
Because she has the faith in the Most High.
I'll take that. Keep going.
And so far in the story, she's been righteous and kept the law.
Right.
She's done no wrong.
That's it.
She has not sinned.
That's right. She knows she's innocent.
Right.
Okay? And she knows the Most High knows it too. Okay? Give me verse 43.
Oh God, Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 43. Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me.
She knows they're lying, man. You understand? Come on.
And behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me.
Right. Susanna now states plainly what has happened to her. False witnesses have brought her to the point of death for something she never did. Notice her words, thou knowest, right? The people believe the elders, but Susanna knows that the Most High knows the truth. This is not trying to convince God of her innocence. She's appealing to the one who already knows she's innocent. The elders did not misunderstand what happened. They maliciously invented the accusation. In other words, this was a deliberate lie designed to condemn Susanna. And now we see the full damage, the full danger of false witness. A lie in judgment can cost an innocent person their life, right? That is exactly why God's law requires witnesses to be examined diligently. False witnesses is not just somebody telling a lie. In a judgment, that lie can destroy someone's reputation, take away their freedom, and in Susanna's case, bring an innocent person to death, right? My other question is, what does this verse shows us why the Most High takes false witness so seriously? They can. I got 5 minutes left. Come on. You want to finish the verse?
43? What part? Whereas? Susanna 143. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me.
Okay, so my question, what does this verse shows us, right? Show us why the Most High takes false witness seriously. What does this verse show us about why the Most High takes false witness so seriously? Ayash?
If I may.
God.
Because we are the children of God, and He takes us serious. As long as we keep His law, statutes, and commandments of fear, He takes us seriously. He's taking Susanna seriously because she keeps the law. She's done no wrong that has not sinned. Okay. And it's going to come to light.
It's going to come to light.
Up in the verse.
Goyala?
No, Khan, sir, because if not, then corruption will rule the city, and then you will have a city like Chicago. That's why the Lord takes it serious. Now it will be nothing but mayhem, corruption, the governments. You see, Chicago and New York was like neck and neck for the most corrupt cities in America.
Right.
I'm saying Chicago, I think, still hold the title. That's because they don't have the worst 16-year-old Negro running around. It's because the government and officials are dropping crates of guns off in the middle of the city. And the Lord can't have that, sir.
Most High in Christ, right? You got something to say, sir? Pastor Mike, the water.
I believe, because you asked what in this verse lets you know why the Most High takes it serious.
Right.
what in the verse says that is because she said, I must die. So false witness will kill somebody.
Right, innocent person to death, put to death. Con. Okay, because when judgment is based on a lie, the innocent can suffer while the guilty appear righteous. Susanna has made her appeal. She cannot save herself, and the people have already condemned her. You know what I'm saying? Now, watch what the Most High does with the cry of an innocent woman. Read verse 44.
Con. Susanna 1, verse 44.
Con.
And the Lord heard her voice.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the Lord heard her voice, right? So this verse is short for a reason, right? But it marks the turning point on the entire case. Susanna cried unto the Most High because everyone around her has accepted the false accusation. Now we see that her cry did not go unheard, right? The people had listened to the elders, but the Most High listened to Susanna, right? And notice something important. The verse does not say that Susanna certainly knew how she would be delivered. It simply tells us that the Lord heard her voice. The solution has not appeared yet, but the Most High is already about to interview. Salakia, come on, sir. Intervene. 2 minutes left. Salakia. Khan. Okay, just because deliverance have not appeared yet does not mean the Most High have not heard, right? Give me 45 real quick.
Susanna 1:45. Mm-hmm. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, mm-hmm. the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit mm-hmm. of a young youth whose name was Daniel.
Whose name who?
Daniel.
Come on.
46.
Mm-hmm.
Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman.
Now we see how the Most High answers Susanna's cry, right? Right? She is already being led away to die when God raises up Daniel, man. Okay? I have 1 minute left. Notice the timing. The Most High did not intervene before she was accused. He did not intervene before the people believed the elders. He intervened when Susanna has been condemned and was being taken to her death. This shows us that although the situation looked finished to everybody else, the case was not finished in the sight of the Most High. And look at who God raises up. He raises up a young man named Daniel. The two elders had age, position, and authority, but none of that made them righteous. Daniel was younger, yet the Most High was going to use him to expose what the elders have done. Righteous judgment is not determined by a person's age, title, or position. It is determined by whether the judgment agrees with the truth and the law of God. Daniel has been raised up, but he has not challenged the judgment yet. Verse 46 is where he opens his mouth. May I read 46? Give me 46.
Susanna 1, verse 46. Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman.
Right. Come on. That's it. Okay. Salakia. Daniel immediately separates himself from the judgment that has been made against Susanna. When he says, I am clear from the blood of this woman, he is saying that he will not share responsibility for her death, right? For an innocent person. May I continue, sir, if I may? The water. This is important because Daniel does not remain silent just because the elders have authority or because everybody else has already accepted their testimony. He recognizes that something is wrong with the judgment and he speaks up. Daniel understands that if an innocent person is put to death through unrighteous judgment, those responsible for the judgment can become accountable for innocent blood. Shall I stop there? Give me Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. Real quick. Real quick. Exodus chapter 23, verse 7.
You got it.
Come on.
Book of Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter. And the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
Right.
For I will not justify the wicked.
Come on, right? This law fits Daniel. It fits his statement, you know what I'm saying, perfectly, because the Most High commands Israel not to participate in a false matter and not to put the innocent and righteous to death. Daniel is about to demonstrate that the principle, demonstrate that principle, Salakia. He refuses to go along with the crowd when an innocent life is at stake, right? So my question is, what does Daniel teach us here about remaining silent when we recognize that an unrighteous judgment is taking place? Come on with it. Damn, Jay. Come
We
on, Jay.
shouldn't be afraid to speak out against wickedness.
Right. Come on. Damn right. Right? Damn right. Clap it up. Right? So Daniel's word immediately gets everybody's attention, right? Now the people want to know why is he rejecting the judgment they had already accepted. Give me 47. May I, sir? Okay, give me verse 47, bro. I doubt we get to the end.
It's the book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 47.
Come on.
Then all the people turned them toward him and said, what mean these words that thou hast spoken?
Daniel's statement stops the people in their tracks, right? Okay. Up until this point, the people had accepted the elders' accusations, and Susanna was already being led away to die. But when Daniel declares that he is clear from her blood, the people turn around and ask him what he means, right? This is important because Daniel now has an opportunity to challenge the judgment before it becomes irreversible. Notice also that Daniel has not yet declared the elders guilty. He has not invented another accusation to fight their accusation. He is about to challenge the way the case was judged. Okay? That brings us right back to the principle we established earlier in Deuteronomy 19 and 18. Diligent inquisition. Right? Okay. The people accepted the testimony. Daniel is about to examine it. So now everybody is listening. The question is, what did Daniel recognize? What was wrong with the judgment? Give me 48, real quick.
Stop me whenever. Chapter 1, verse 48. So he standing in the midst of them said, are ye such fools? Ye sons of Israel,
right?
That without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel.
Now Daniel identifies exactly what went wrong with the judgment. The people condemned Susanna without examination or knowledge of the truth. They heard the accusations of two of respected elders and treated their testimony as if it was automatically prove the case. Daniel is not saying witnesses are unimportant. You know what I'm saying? The law requires witnesses. The problem is that their testimony was never prepared properly, right? This brings us directly back to Deuteronomy 19 and 18 and the diligent inquisition. We already established Daniel is now doing what should have been done before Susanna was condemned. Notice the order Daniel gives us. Accusation is not examined. Testimony is not automatically proof. The judgment should not come before the truth of the matter has been established, right? So what was the people's mistake according to Daniel? Ayash?
Nothing was examined or thoroughly investigated. They just went off of the word of the elders and took that as judgment.
They reached a conclusion before they completed the investigation.
They never even asked Susanna any questions about the situation at hand, other than a description of a man that does not exist.
Right. They just believed because these two men were, high-ranking, blah, blah, blahs, right? And was ready to put this poor sister to death.
Right.
Right. So Daniel has exposed the problem. Now he is going to demand the case to be reopened and properly examined. Give me 49, bro.
Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 49.
Stop me? Okay. Okay. Read 49, bro.
Book of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 49. Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her.
All sucky now, right? Daniel's like, yo, let's go back, where it all began. Okay, so return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. Daniel now demands that they return to the place of judgment. In other words, this case is now finished, right? The judgment against Susanna must be reconsidered because it was reached without a proper examination of evidence. Daniel is now asking the people to ignore the law. He is not asking the people to ignore the law. He is bringing them back to the proper application of the law. All right. Salaki Israel, that's my time. You can read this, you can read the history of Susanna in the Apocrypha, right? You could purchase it at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. You know what I'm saying? Ayash, real quick.
Oh, we're gonna have a part 5 for next week. You gotta finish the story now. You gotta pull it down the rabbit hole.
All right, Most High in Christ. Hey, listen, Most High in Christ, man. So the brothers want a part 5. We agree? Hey, Most High in Christ, man. Most High in Christ. I appreciate that. All right, with that, Israel, we are the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Hunter. And since 1969, we've been bringing this truth that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children that the Bible speaks of. All right? I'm Officer Dekun. I pass the class to Officer Goyala. Shalom.
Khan. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 mean tenth in the Hebrew, Mayasharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations is memorial blown of the trumpet. Is September 11th, 2026. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, men of Israel, Imagine. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yashamatah, dismissed.
Superb classic as usual. Gotta make it a part 5.